following is a presentation of TFNN.
So let's go to Rick in Longwood. Rick, thanks for holding. Thanks for calling in.
Well, thanks for taking my call this morning, Steve. And you're right, it is a beautiful morning.
Oh, man, it's a beautiful. That's why we live in Florida.
Yeah, it sure is. And, I'm one of your subscribers to your alert service.
Yes, thank you.
And, thank you. I'm one of your very satisfied customers because you're making me money.
I love it.
That's the bottom line.
I love it. I love it. I hope you're a moon lover. I hope you're a moon lover too, Rick.
Live at TFNN, The Trader's Edge, with your host, Steve Rhodes.
And he's picked out a landing spot that is a good 25 feet above the hull.
There's a good chance he doesn't get this inside the mark of his ball.
Well, here it comes. Oh, my goodness. Have you seen anything like that? This guy's pretty good.
Now, the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. Welcome. I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, and thanks so much for joining me this morning. It is absolutely my favorite thing to do is be here with you. I hope it's your favorite thing as well. If we take just a quick spin around the markets here, relatively flat. We could all go water skiing over these markets right now. You got the Dow futures up maybe about 9 points. ES Mini up about a point or so. NASDAQ up 3. Small caps are flat. King dollar up 15 cents right now. Gold trading down at $17.49. That's down about 70 cents. From the close, silver trading down 12 cents out at $33.65. Light sweet crude, though, that's the one that is getting hit this morning. Down $1.23, trading out at 96.36. High grade copper up 4 pennies. Natural gas just up slightly. So you know what we do, folks, is we take a tour around the world. In fact, around the world right now, you got the DAX is up 17 points. The FTSE's flat. Asia last night was up both in Japan, in Hong Kong, and Shanghai. And, we're going to take a look at that and what we do each and every day, the way that I love to be able to kick this off. I think we've got that picture, my favorite spot over my left-hand shoulder. Perfect. That is Lanai. That is my favorite. That's a place of strength, folks, at least as far as I'm concerned. What's so important is being able to put yourself in a peak state, and that's really what it's all about. Now, what I do is I take myself to a certain spot because when I wake up each morning, I don't know about you, but what I do is I like to say, what are my outcomes that I want to be able to attain today? It's a great way to just kind of, if you will, get into spring training, if you will, because once you start focusing, once you start moving towards your daily outcomes, that's going to lead you to your weekly, that's going to lead you to your monthly, much like we go ahead and take a look at the charts, if you will, because we look at daily charts and we go up to weekly charts. And so we just simply, we do it all around here. And one of the things that we talked about this week was being able to get rid of the constraints that are in your life and understanding just simply who the constraints are. If you didn't hear, I think it was, today's already Thursday, terrific Thursday, if you will, or thunderous Thursday. And I think it was on Monday or Tuesday show, where I was really talking about the importance of understanding what it is that stops you. What is it that stops you, whether it's in business, whether it's the money game that you're playing, or any business that you're in? And what I find, it's just simply you want to be able to get rid of the constraints. And what you'll find, the way to make the impossible possible, folks, is to get rid of, we'll figure this out here. So it looks like the size of the chart has changed. But is to get rid of the constraints in your life. Apparently right now we're having just a little bit of a constraint in a new studio with a new setup. But we'll get everything working just hunky-dory, if you will. And, so what I wanted you to understand is the way to turn the impossible possible is get rid of I am. That's the I'm. You're the only constraint in anything it is that you want to attain in life. I know that to be the case, but that's one piece of it. We talked a little bit about understanding, folks, that what you want to be able to do is, you see, everything that you have in your life right now is all because of the standard that you've set. Each of us, what we have is meeting our needs. That doesn't mean that you don't want more, but what happens is you may want more, but the question is, are you going to do what you need to do? And that means you've got to turn your shoulds into must, because you know you should do this in order to be able to attain whatever that new standard is you want. Whether, if it's your health, if it's a weight issue, if it's a strength issue, you've got to be able to turn your shoulds into must. Well, the way to do that is to understand that what you have to do is you have to set a new standard. A little over a week ago, I did a webcast just taking a look at just general business, if you will, helping people, maybe asking a question that many business owners have never really asked or never written down the answers. Maybe they know it in their head. Maybe they know they should do something, but they don't. My whole outcome was to help people turn those into musts, because when you turn something into a must, you will find a way to get it done. You may not know how. There are plenty of things that you've done in your life, in your past, if you go back and you take a look at it, when you all of a sudden made something a must. Well, the must that I want you to make is I want you to be able to set a new standard. If you take a look at anyone that's been successful out there, whether it's an athlete, business person, what they've done is they've set a new standard. They have a success formula. And part of that success formula, how that really gets kicked off, how it really starts is when you want to be able to set a new standard, what you're really telling yourself is what you see is more potential in yourself than you saw the moment just before. And that's really where it all starts, because the entire success formula, yesterday I mentioned that the rich get richer. The rich don't get richer off of the poor, folks. The rich get richer, if you will, off of having a success formula. Athletes get better unless they get knocked out of the game, if you will. Same thing can happen in the money game. We don't want you to get knocked out of the game. I want you to use the right money management strategies. But the rich get richer because of a success strategy. It's a spiraling up strategy versus a spiraling down strategy. You see, what happens when you start to attain more, when you set a higher standard, when you make it a must that you're going to go after that standard and you're going to do whatever it takes, and no matter what the universe throws at you, you're going to plow through it. You're going to be that positive ant. You're going to go up over. You're going to go underneath. You're going to go around. Whatever it is, you're going to do what it takes to get it done. That's what setting the new standard is. Well, it first starts by simply understanding what your potential is. When you understand what that potential is, and when you're going to make a should, a must, the next thing that follows is you're going to take some kind of action. Might be a small action. Now, here's the problem with saying, Steve, I know what my dream clients are. I want to go get those. Or I know what I want to be able to accomplish in business. And all that I'm willing to do is take a little step. Maybe take a little action. Well, folks, what type of result do you believe is going to happen when you say, I'm going to take a little action? Well, let me tell you, the reward that you're going to get is much, much more than a little. That's just the way that the universe is set up, the way that the universe works today. If you take a medium action, the best outcome that you can expect, it's not a medium result, it's a small result. If you take a large action, you might get a medium result. What you have to do, and you've heard me say this before, you absolutely have to take massive action. You've got to take the most action possible, and maybe the first time that you do something, you just get knocked down. It's no different than being in the playground as a kid. You're here today. Most of you fell off of a swing set, off of some monkey bars. Some of you had broken bones, broken arms, black eyes, you name it. But you know what you were doing when you were doing that exercise? Maybe you were swinging from this bar to that bar or what have you. Maybe you were climbing up in a tree. I'll bet you there is some experience that you had in life, and you're still here today. And you were taking some type of massive action. Well, it's the way that life works, folks, and I want you to be able to take massive action, because then when you do that, you understood your potential, you took some massive action, what's going to happen is you're going to get a result. It may not be the result that you want, but that's not why you're going to give up. Maybe your result was here, and the result you got was down there. So then you come back, you refine it a little bit, but the whole point is you started to have progress. You started to have emotion, if you will. Because what happens is potential, action, and then all of a sudden you've got that emotion, that progress, if you will, which is nothing more, folks, than really where you've gotten some result, and then you've got belief. You see, when you believe, and belief, folks, you can kind of change that word for certainty. When you're certain that you understand your potential, and if you take some action, you're going to get results, what happens is that is the success spiral. That is why the rich get richer. That is why that's why what you have in your life right now today, you may not like to hear this, but what it is that you have in your day is meeting your needs. That is all you want. If you want more, You have to set a new standard. If you want better health, you have to set a different standard, and you've got to, sit down and create that success spiral. Understand what that potential is. What does that look like? Visualization is an absolutely great way to do it. When my clients start playing the money game, when they start truly making money, what I like them to do, we talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago, like them to be able to set up what are some real short-term rewards, a way to be able to pay yourself, because part of the money game or part of anything that you do is to be able to celebrate it. You see, when you put that kind of focus, when you're willing to walk over a bed of hot coals of 2,000 degrees, and you want to be able to celebrate, because that's what it is that you do in life. And folks, if you've never done that, you should try that experience. Anthony Robbins does a great job. He's got a Unleash the Power Within event, I think, coming up in New York. If you are trying to find ways to immerse yourself and understand your potential, to be able to get from your potential to your results and be able to understand how you take massive action, I recommend you do that, because what you'll do that first night is you'll walk across a bed of hot coals, 2,000 degrees. You'll think that might have been, the peak of the entire event. It's not the peak. But when you can walk across a bed of hot coals, folks, you can learn to take massive action. You can find, if I can walk through fire, I can do anything. And you want to be able to visualize it. Maybe even if you don't have the opportunity to go there, if you can visualize it, and then you want to be able to celebrate. So it's why we focus on just a little bit of rewards. If it's, for example, a dream car that you have, do you realize that whatever dream car that you might want to manifest into your life, that you could go rent it? You could go rent it for a day. Maybe it's $200, $300, $400, $500. What does it matter in order to be able to have a little piece of your dream? Because you see what happens when you get a little piece of your dream, folks? Your belief, your certainty, you're certain that if you take more action, you'll get stronger results. That is how you set a new standard. What are the standards going on in the markets here? Well, right now the standards are relatively flat. I'm hoping that you can see my screen, but if not, when we go to break in about 30 seconds or so, we'll reset everything. We're just taking a look at the ES Mini, and one of the standards that we take a look at when we're trading, we take a look at Fibonacci expansion and retracement areas. You can see right now where the ES Mini traded down to an area of support in the 13, 16 range. When we get back, we'll take a look at this chart. We'll take a look at any chart that you would like. You just got to give me a call, 877-927-6648. Set a new standard in your life, folks. Go out there, understand your potential, take action, please, but not just a little action. Take massive action. What ends up happening, folks, is the extraordinary rewards, folks. That's what you will get into your life. That's what you'll manifest. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi, Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of The Money Game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's just wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. I think we got things all figured out and working here. And MasterCard up big this morning. And, we'll go take a look around at that. You've got Green Mountain Coffee. I think both those came out with earnings releases this morning. Right now, what I've got up on my screen here is the futures contract. So we're taking a look at, in the upper left-hand corner, you've got the NASDAQ futures. Upper right-hand corner, the Russell. Down below that, the ES Mini, the S&P, and then off to the left, you've got the Dow futures, and you can see, the Dow is the big number. That's, what's really focused on and reported on. You had the Dow close up 83 points right now, and the Dow is still struggling to get up to the high of January 26th. In the futures contract, you're looking at 12,786 is the high, trading out right now at 12,678. And, it is inside this red and blue area. Let's go ahead and blow this up here. And, what we're looking at, those lines there represent swing points. The blue line here represents the low of the swing point from July 22nd. You can see that we're up over that. We still haven't gotten up over and stayed over the high of that swing point, July 22nd. So it's gotten up over it, but it's closed below it. It's rejected that swing point, but you're still trading inside there. The red line that you see going across there is really going back to the swing point from May 2nd. That's the one that's really in play here, and what you can see is you've got this butterfly pattern, this 1.618 butterfly pattern, that it looks like the Dow wants to be able to punch up and hit before it gives us an indication of what it wants to do. Looks to me, this is just building up what you would call a blow-off top here, just building some cause right now. But, there has not been any conviction, any real conviction from a volume standpoint in this marketplace. You like to be able to see volume, especially when you're up at these highs, because you've got volume down at the lows for sure, and you've got volume down at this low right here, October 4th. It's a low that has not been tested. And at some point in our lifetime, folks, that low will be tested. If we continue taking a look, at the futures contracts, let's look at the ES Mini here. so you've got 500 stocks in essence that you're taking a look at. And the ES Mini also struggling to get up to the January 26th high there. The ES Mini made a high of 1329.75. You're trading out at 1322.50. Now, before the show came on, I was showing this chart right here. This is the ES Mini. This is on the 30-minute chart. And you can see, right now what it did was, let's take a look at this retracement actually from the low that was put in right here at this point, 2:30 in the morning on yesterday. And so when we take a look at going from the low there all the way up to the high that it made at about 1:30 in the afternoon yesterday, what you can see is that the 0.382 area is right down here. That's where it retraced down to, coming off of that large swing. This shows 0.43, so that's measuring, right to the bottom of the low that came in right at about 8 o'clock this morning. But from our retracement ruler area, we take a look at 382, 618, and 786, if you will. Now, it's made a 0.382. You also see this 1.618. Well, I'm not sure why my software is grabbing the swing point here. That is at 5:30 in the afternoon. So let's go ahead and take a look at the real swing point is right down here at 4 p.m. yesterday. So if we go to the 4 p.m. swing point and come all the way up here to the most recent swing high, and that most recent swing high was in at 3:30 this morning, what you will see is that's actually came right down to the 1.272. So where the ES Mini came down to this morning is support when you're taking a look at expansion of Fibonacci as well as a retracement. Remember, 0.382 off of this area. Now, what that says to us is that says to me that when you only do a 0.382 retracement, if this area here holds, you should see some real juice, some real price juice come into the marketplace today. But it's got to take out this high that occurred at 1:30. Let's go over to Mike in Chicago. Mike in not just Chicago, but I think you can go water skiing in Chicago today, can't you?
We're not that far from that, Steve. I mean, it's been really unbelievable how warm it's been. I'm actually headed down to Phoenix to play golf for 2 days, so don't be jealous because I know you're a big golfer. Oh,
baby,
I could golf in Chicago today if I really wanted to.
The front page of USA Today has got a picture of, and I didn't get a chance to read the story. I'm imagining that it's yesterday of 2011 versus today, and they got a picture of Lakeshore Drive. And so it looks like a year ago, I don't know if it was exactly a year ago yesterday, but let's just say it was in 2011. They're showing just the blizzard where everybody got snowed in, if you will. And today,
yep,
it looks like today.
That's when Lakeshore Drive got shut down, and everybody got stranded. That was literally a year ago, and now it's 55 degrees.
Yeah. Now where are you going to be playing at down in Phoenix?
I'm playing at a place called Quintero. It's like an hour north of the airport out in the boonies.
Oh, baby. Hey, stick with us. We're going to have the opening bell, and then we'll come right back to you. We'll take a look at anything you want, Mike. Thanks for calling in. Folks, 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in the complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. You got the Dow leading the charge up 23 points. You got the S&Ps up 2.5, composite up 6. Small caps relatively flat, up a point, and we're going back out to Chicago, to Mike in Chicago. Mike, thanks for holding.
No problem, Steve.
How can I help you this morning?
So I just wanted to talk about October 27th, which you've mentioned, multiple times as one of your P index dates.
Yes, that is correct.
So I know that, when we hit that, obviously it was a short-term high, and we were, back in, the end of the year, we were looking at that as potentially putting a cap on the market. Now that we're above that, and we've gone above it on, lighter volume, I'm just thinking that, what's the potential that the market just continues to plow higher for, a few more months on lighter volume now that we're above that October 27th? I mean, I've seen it multiple times where, even though the market's up on lighter volume, it can continue to go up for a while. And
Absolutely.
It can be very frustrating for those of us that look at, price and volume as, for our triggers.
Right. No question about it. I mean, the one thing that both you and I don't have any control over is which direction the market is going to go. All we can do is just go ahead and take a look at patterns that have worked for us, and make sure that we've got the proper money management strategy in place. We are up over that October 27th P index date, and if you're up above it, that also is a suggestion that you can trade higher. That October 27th area right now, which does have some volume in it, for if you take a look at the Dow or you take a look at anything that it is up, that is up above it, it now acts as support. So until that area actually gets broken, that area is going to act as support. So on the Dow, what you're talking about is you're talking in the area of 12, I just lost the 12,284. Yeah, it's right there in front of me. I think I could read that. 12,284 on my screen. And if you just simply took a look at a retracement from going back to the November 25th area up to that spot, it would only be a 0.382 retracement. I mean, if the market did start to pull back, anytime in the next couple of days or what have you, it's the normal spot for it to come down. Now, what will help us as a market, breathes and pulls back to that October 27th area is what kind of volume is it as it's coming down there. You come down with light volume, then, we might be in a sideways trading range, or it could be making a new ABC pattern.
Yeah. All right, great. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I really appreciate it, and have a great weekend.
Hey, you bet. And enjoy golf down there. Give us a call back, and let us know how you played.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. I really enjoy the show and your whole take on things.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate the call. 877-927-6648, folks. You can give us a call. You got the Dow is trading up by 19 points right now. S&P's up a couple. And let's go take a look at some of the movers and shakers in the world. And right now, one of the movers and shakers. Let's go take a look at MasterCard. Let's punch that up on the screen here. The symbol is MA, and MasterCard is up $16 right now, trading out at $3.74. You can see how it gapped up. And let's see where MasterCard is heading towards the swing point high of December 22nd. Now, that swing point has 931,000 shares. So we've only been trading for, just a few moments here, 7 minutes, if you will, and you've done 348,000. Wait, that was yesterday. Yeah, 350,000 shares. So you've got the volume. Now, it hasn't made it to the low. The low on that swing point is 378, but it certainly has the juice. It's got the volume. Let's pull MasterCard back a little bit further, see what we have here. This is a great-looking chart from the standpoint that everybody that's in MasterCard is enjoying the party. Let's just switch this over here to a weekly chart. We'll go back to the daily in a minute. And, if you do take a look at the weekly chart, if you're taking a look at if MasterCard ever fell out of bed, and this is what I want you to be able to understand, because one of the reasons that I'm actually here today is because I used to be just an absolute only fundamental trader. That was what I used, an original bean counter, although, that's just one of the many things that I've had the opportunity to do. And so it was really a fundamental trader, if you will. And what happened was, as I was trading fundamentally, I would wake up some morning and a stock would fall out of bed. What I mean by that, in the case of MasterCard, maybe I went to sleep, it was trading out at 375, and when I woke up, it was trading out at 217. There are stocks that will trade like that, and I want to understand why were some of those things happening. Was there a tool? Because we're always looking for a holy grail, right? We're always looking for the secrets in life to be able to find another gear, take us to a next level, maybe set a new standard. Well, what I found was we had that call from Mike, is that price and volume eventually do come into play. Yes, things can continue to go up longer than whether it's on light volume. They can continue to go up longer than the money that you've got in your account if you don't use money management. Well, when you take a look at a chart, remember one of the first things we want you to do is we want you to take a look at the volume bars going along the bottom on whatever time frame it is that you're looking at. Well, if you go take a look at MasterCard, I'm not saying that it's going to come down here, but if it ever did fall out of bed, if it, the large funds decide to sell or whatever the reason is, where MasterCard would come down to is its last high volume out there, which you can see you've got one, that's kind of sticking out, if you will, in the area of December 17th, the week of December 17th, high out there of 260. You've got larger volume right out here at the 217 area. If you come on back up here all the way into the July 08 time frame, you can see how the July 08 time frame here, that high, which had 37 million, the high out there is 290, and at 290, as MasterCard has been making its way up, as it's been chugging, when it pulled back here, this candle right here, the week of October 4th, look at how it came back to that area and tested that out, did that on lighter volume, so there wasn't enough volume to bust down that candle all the way back out here that we were taking a look at, which is going back all the way into August of 2008. Now, if you just drew the ABCs on MasterCard, and we'll just come down to the lowest swing point, which is November 21st, 2008, up to the highs that it made. Looks like here's the high in January 2010. We'll come back down to the lowest swing area. And what we can see here with MasterCard is right now it has made a 1 to 1.272 A to B equals C to D. That exact price would have been $390.42. Where MasterCard got up to was $384.99. So that's close enough for me for a stock that started out at $100. To be off by just a few. It started out that A point that we were taking a look at was 113.05. So you can see it's got some, juice in it today. Let's go take a look at the daily chart. So on a daily chart, if this thing does fail at the swing point, give me a second here to punch this back up to a daily chart. And now you start taking a look at where's the last volume bar on MasterCard. Well, it sticks right out at you. The last volume bar, December 16th of 2010. The high out there is 254. So it's why you got to use stop management. I'm not saying it just falls out of bed, but when stocks break down, just like Google, let's go take a look at Google, as a matter of fact. Let's see what Google is actually doing today, and then we'll go take a look at Green Mountain Coffee, or we'll take a look at what else maybe. Let's take a look at the other side, what's dropping today. You've got Abercrombie and Fitch. And I guess in order for this to work, for me to pull up Google, it would help if I typed in the right symbol, folks. That's G-O-O-G. Now, Google, on the other hand, you got Google that gap down with volume. It did that on January the 20th, came down with 10 million shares. You can see as it's just trying to retrace back up, it's doing with 2 million. There is no conviction on the way up. And the question is going to be, as Google gets into this gap, and the first candle we're going to be taking a look at with Google is January 20th. The low on that is at 581.70. You're trading inside that candle right now, 582.49. And the top of that candle is 591. So the question is, does it get just up over that candle, close down below it? Is that going to act as a resistance point? Or is Google going to try to retrace all the way back up and to try to close this gap here? So right now, no volume in the move. It is making an A to B equals CD down. That A to B equals CD down. Oh, I thought I was going to show it here on the weekly. Let's just come back to the daily chart. That AB equals CD. Let's go ahead and draw that in for us. That A, B, C, D. The question is going to be, where is that C point? Let's assume the C point is just right up here at the top of the gap down candle from January 20th. That says that you can see Google at that $486 area. What's that $486? You name it, October 4th. How is it that that's how things work out, folks? That's why you want to understand the patterns that are out there. Let's go take a look at Abercrombie and Fitch. Let's see how that is trading. The symbol on that is ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch. And we got that trading down this morning. It's trading down $5, about $5 down, 10%. Now this thing has had, look at this, you got one gap here, two gap. This is a three gap, but not a three gap play because that third gap would have had to have been larger than either of these first two. And you can see that first gap was a doozy. That first gap we're talking about is November 3rd of 2011. And let's just come back here. Let's put this on a weekly basis. So let's see. Here's a good chart to take a look at. Did this fall back to a volume area? Let's see here. Nothing that just totally sticks out. Now, what you can, we'll take as long as we're taking a look at the weekly chart, what you can see is right now you've got Abercrombie and Fitch underneath, any of its swing points. The next swing point, really, that Abercrombie and Fitch is going to try to take on is July of 2010. And if we just simply use our Fibonacci retracement ruler, go all the way to the lows of November 2008, all the way up here to the high that it made in July 2011. You'll see this 0.618 areas at 38.33. But with the gap downs, it looks to me like what Abercrombie and Fitch wants to do is get back into the $27 area. That is on the weekly chart. So unlike MasterCard, where everybody was out charging things and having a good time because almost everybody that owned that stock was in the money, that is not the same thing going on at this party here. That is with Abercrombie and Fitch, and so I would not. And you got pretty decent volume today. So far, we've been trading for what looks like about 15 minutes, and you've got 4.2 million shares coming out of their balloon. Let's go take a look at Green Mountain Coffee. They came out with numbers this morning. I'd have to switch switch charts to see what their release is. Let's just go take a look at the actual chart and see how that's trading, see what that is trading into. That symbol, folks, is GMCR. That's trading up right now $11.80. Out at 65.50 area. And so here's a gappy stock. Look at this thing. Look at this thing, how this gaps down on November 10th, 47 million shares. It's right now, it's just simply coming back into that gap. Remember, we were taking a look at Google, and we were taking a look at its gap down, and the question is, or in the case of Google, now this is a different chart. If we tried to compare Google next to this, let me see if we can even do that. Well, I know we can do anything because we're going to set a new standard here, right? So let's, now the only thing is, let me just kind of do this. Okay, so we've got the Green Mountain Coffee. So now let's go ahead and pull up another Google chart. So I can put that off to the side. Let's see how this works here. So we'll take a look. What, Steve, you got to put in the right symbol, G-O-O-G. There we go. So let's put these two guys side by side and see the differences in them with regard to how they're testing the swing points on these gaps down. All right. So in the case of what we've got over here on the right-hand side is you've got Google, and over here on the left-hand side we've got Green Mountain Coffee. So in the case of Green Mountain Coffee, its gap down right here was November 10th. So you can see that what happened was it was coming back up. Now the high on the high of that bar of November 10th is 48.04. You did 47 million shares. So the candle that went up was November 15th, and you only got to 47.94. So you didn't have a test. You came up with 17 million shares, but you wanted it to at least get over the high of that gap down candle. Well, it didn't. And so that was not telling you that that was a short signal. Not that we have to go back and really study the chart, but just in comparing the charts and the differences that we have here, what then happened, so you wouldn't have wanted to pull a trigger because, you know, gaps can get filled here. In this case, what happens on the next trading session, November 16th? Look at this. You've got a gap up. Even though it's not on any type of significant volume, you have a void of price. And when you gapped up there, what that said is that you were going to likely close the gap, that your area, if you were really going to consider shorting Green Mountain Coffee, and I'm not, again, suggesting that you do that. Just take a look at the chart pattern here. So let's switch over to Google. Now, in the case of Google, what you can see at this stage, you know, Google hasn't tested itself. So you won't get a release of information from Google until you get back up to the January 20th area. And you want to be able to watch for the same thing. So what's going to help you understand whether or not Google is going to try to fill in this gap here is going to be how this area here gets handled. And when we took a look at Green Mountain Coffee, we saw that it stopped just before the swing point. You know, you can see that you had some slight increasing volume, if you will. And, you know, and it said that for those of you that were interested in shorting the stock, you had to wait until it got up to the November 9th area. Well, today is your day. Now, again, I'm not going to do the full evaluation of the stock, and I'm not suggesting it. What you've got here is you've got 17 million shares up where you had the breakdown. You know, we talk about stocks breaking down. That is, with this gap down here on volume, that is what occurred. Now, what you'd want to see if you really were interested in shorting a stock like this, what you want to see is it now today come into that candle on less than 17 million shares. Yes, we had a huge gap down on the 47 million shares, but you'd like as much confirmation as possible when you put your money at risk. And today, folks, so far, you've done 6-7 million shares, so it looks like it's got the volume coming into that candle. That says no short today. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing. But what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while actually reducing your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns, making missed opportunities a thing of the past. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, I just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650. But you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Hope you're off to a great Thursday, and it is thunderous Thursday around here. And so, you want to stay tuned because following this show, you got Tom and I. Then we've got Kate Stalter in the on-deck circle, Larry Pesavento getting ready to hit her in with a home run. Then we've got Ken Shreve from 3 to 4, the warm-up band for the Tom O'Brien Show. Tom will take it home from 4 to 6. And what I've got up on my screen here right now is the U.S. dollar-Japanese yen currency pair. And you can see that the yen here is now struggling. It is trading out at 76.12. And it is down below, and this doesn't happen too often, but when you're taking a look at retracements from high to low, we're just dealing with one day, October 31st, if you will, Halloween. That was when the Japanese finance minister stepped in, and when they stepped in in a big way to try to weaken the yen. The strong yen is not good. In fact, I know Sony had come out with earnings, several billion-dollar loss. And I know that one of the reasons that they were talking about, and Sony produces great products, but just simply the strength in the yen is creating all kinds of problems. Looks to me like what the yen is trying to do is get down and test this candle. Now, this here, folks, this is the ultimate in bullish engulfing candles. And this is on a daily chart. You want to take a look at this one's got to be a textbook, if you will. Now, When I talk about that, a bullish engulfing candle, folks, can only happen as a move down. And well, there's no question when you take a look at the Japanese yen, this thing moved down into all-time record lows, if you will. Well, you take a look at this candle, and what you're looking at is you're looking at the body. The entire body portion here, so that's the green shaded area, and how many actual candles that this thing, engulfed. It went all the way back to the last time that the Japanese finance ministers stepped in. That was on August the 3rd. My recollection is that was occurring late in the afternoon, around 4 or 4:30 on that specific trade here, and I would wait. Now, bullish engulfing candles, they love to be tested when they're broken. You have a close below. It tells you that there's lower prices to come. And that is certainly a possibility here with the Japanese finance ministers, but they've got to do something to weaken that yen. You weaken that yen, that puts a little action in King Dollar, because the yen is, I think it's number 2 or 3 weighting structure inside the King Dollar index, if you will. Just taking a quick peek around the markets here, you got Ryder Systems trading off 8%, down about 460 right now. You've got, what else is down? Elizabeth Arden, symbol on that, RDEN, that's off 11%, down $4. Starwood Hotels, HOT, the symbol there, that's just down a couple bucks, about 4%, down 16%, I'm sorry, $16. ABG Technology leading us on the upside. MasterCard up $20. The CME Group is up 12. Green Mountain Coffee, that is up $9. Core Laboratories, they are up. Rand Gold. Let's go take a look at Rand Gold, see what that is doing. Ticker symbol on that is GOLD. One of the better gold stocks out there. Let's see what that puppy is doing. So you got Rand Gold gapping up this morning. Maybe when Tom comes in here, we'll talk about Rand Gold. Trading out right now 117.53, and you've got a ABC pattern here on Rand Gold. If we take a look at that, we can just take the smaller one that we've got out here. That smaller ABC is completing in just a few dollars, 118.90 or 85. And what that's going to do is that's going to take Rand Gold up into the swing point from November 8th. The high there, 120.73. That swing point has got 659,000 shares. The swing point, or the day after that, 750,000 shares. Today, you have traded 145,000 in the first 30 minutes. Folks, thanks for being here. Dow is off 8 points. Stick around for Tom and I. If you've got to go, have a super day. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Have a great one.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa